Hello everyone, AlzionTheGreat here, and welcome back to LOL Talk. A few things to remember before we start. 1, this is my opinion. 2, whatever I predict, I'm usually wrong, and I was wrong about a certain team in this video. All players mentioned here are better than me. Any images used in this are not owned by me, and I do not make profit off of them. And like and subscribe. So, this is being recorded directly after CLG took down Golden Guardians in the week 3 of the LCS. So yeah, that's the intro for that. You have a mid-season power ranking update, as this is what it looks like. 100 Thieves moves up to first from second, Cloud9 up to second from third, TSM up to third, fifth. Liquid down from number 1 to 4th. Dignitas up from 10th to 5th in the highest jump on the board. EG went down from 4th to 6th. FlyQuest from 6th to 7. Immortals stayed the same. Golden Guardians went down to 9th. And CLG went down to 10th. Now, even though CLG won, they're in 10th place. But yeah, 100 Thieves, I think they are the best team in the league, pretty much, by far. Even though Team Liquid has had statistically better games, they are the better team. That's just how I view it. Cloud9, the only reason that they're second for me is because they're 5-1. I'm still not sold on Perks or Fudge yet, as, you know, Fudge being a good top laner period, and Perks being in the, or just doing generally well in the LCS. TSM overperforming, in all honesty, for me. They went 4-2, swept the weekend in week 3. They went from 1-2 to 4-2. Liquid struggling, as they are only 3-3. Dignitas obviously impressing. They made the highest jump and have certainly proven me wrong in my 10th place rating and in my not only preseason power rankings but after lock-in power rankings. EG, I kind of answered my question in the after lock-in power rankings. Then FlyQuest just went down because, you know, Dignitas move up. Same thing with Golden Guardians and CLG, although Immortals kind of proved me wrong, and I'll just say that as I go in with each individual team. Starting from the top, 100 Thieves, obviously. Best team in the league. You can't really say anything else about it. They're the best team in the league. FBI's had MVP-worthy performances. I'd say some days a slightly bit disappointing, but still, the old Golden Guardians roster proving to be just as good as they were last year, maybe even better, as they are on top for the LCS, or on top of the LCS right now. I think they're going to take the mid-season showdown, and I think they're going to represent North America at MSI, if there's an MSI this year, which hopefully there's an MSI this year. Cloud9, as I said, still not, 100%. I'm about 74-ish% in on Cloud9 right now. Yeah, they're 5-1. Second best record, best record in the league, technically tied with 100 Thieves. But remember, I viewed the Cloud9 reverse sweeping 100 Thieves just as a bit of a throw and a bit of a Sven carry job in the lock-in tournament, and I just don't really. I mean, Cloud9, they have the record, they have the players, but I just don't feel like Cloud9 is just gonna hardcore win every week. TSM, well, I'm debating this because my point on TSM is kind of also the other takeaways, which I do to end out. So TSM, let's just say they're overachieving what I thought could happen in the season. Liquid, speaking of achieving things, underachieving. Even though they had, one of the best bot lanes in the lock-in tournament, and still do, obviously, with that core JJ, it's just, something's not right. They just, the loss to Immortals was like, okay, this is Immortals' first game as a with their actual roster, so you weren't really prepared for that. Then they lost to TSM, which was, in my opinion, a little bit surprising, as even though, the thing coming in was Sword Art versus Core JJ, I was like, yeah, but I don't really know if the rest of TSM could hang. Don't get me wrong. Power of Evil, great mid laner. He was deathless for most of, the weekend. It was like, I'm just not exactly sure if he could, hang with Jensen right now. And he did. He proved me wrong. But I wasn't like, I was saying Power of Evil is one of the worst mid laners in North America. I wasn't saying that. It was just like, I know he's good. I don't think he's Jensen good. And now he's Jensen good. Or maybe, actually, I should just say he's Power of Evil good. As he always been. Slightly doubted, but always shows up. I've already talked about Liquid. Dignitas, overachieving. Like, Jesus. The only roster in North America with all 5 players from North America, United States or Canada, without residency. They're impressive. EG, literally in the after lock-in rankings, I asked, is EG for real? Are they for real? No. Are they good? Absolutely. But are they a top contender? Not really feeling it. We still have a little bit ways of the season to go. I know this is technically not even, it's only 6 games, not 9. But yeah, I still think EG will make playoffs. I still think, they might have an outside chance at going deep in those playoffs. But if you ask me right now, do I think EG is going to, surprise and shock the LCS by taking it? No, I just don't think that's going to happen. FlyQuest, a little bit disappointing. It seems to kind of just revolve around Jose Diodo. Although Licorice, to his credit, did have 2 pretty good games, even though they, lost 2 games this week, I think. Yeah, they lost 2 games this week. Immortals, the debut was impressive. Other than that, not really consistent. Although Xerxes was like destroying Evil Geniuses today. Today. Whenever this video is released, probably the day after. So probably on Monday. Yeah, EG, or Xerxes destroyed EG, but he did really good, but it's still a little bit inconsistent. Golden Guardians, Niles has been picked on all the time. They need to figure out something to stop this bleeding in the top side. It's not even that Niles is like a bad player. He's just constantly getting picked on in every single match. He's, the number 1 pick in the draft last year, and he's just not had a chance to really show his talent because he's been picked on. Golden Guardians have only won a single game. And you can chalk some of it up to experience, but at the same time, it's like they've pretty much been camping Niles. And CLG, I'm happy they got their first win, but you know what they did to get their first win? They beat Golden Guardians by camping Niles. So, not too sold on CLG yet. Still think they're going to be at the bottom of the league. And, yeah. Other takeaways from this, obviously Dignitas impressive. I want to see how far Dignitas can go. The only reason that I rated Dignitas 5th instead of 4th over Team Liquid is, 1, I don't want my power rankings to necessarily reflect the rankings as a whole, although it for the most part does. But I still think Liquid is better than Dignitas. I'm just not completely 100% sold on Dig just yet. I am getting there. Believe me, this team has surprised me ever since week 1. But yeah, I'm just not completely sold on Dig. I think they can make the playoffs now, but if you're gonna ask me, will they have a chance? Probably not. I think they'll probably lose in the playoffs if they get there, and that's right now, by the way. So we'll just have to see how the season goes. And speaking of Team Liquid, I'm not even sure what's going on. Like, I feel like these struggles should be concerning. Liquid should not be 3-3 after winning the lock-in tournament. They should be at the top of the standings. They should have, honestly, if you swap TSM and Team Liquid's record, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I see that. I see that working. But they have struggled to this point, and I don't know what has to change. I'm not super invested in the gameplay, but 3-3 right now is Team Liquid with the moves they made in the offseason is not acceptable. And my last point for end this video, just how good can TSM be? Now, a lot of people trashed on Sword Art when he joined a TSM. Travis Gafford, I think, said he was washed up. And I didn't say anything obviously, but I countered with, well, he did just reach a world final. I don't think he's washed up if he's in it. If he just literally hit his prime, as he just, got to a world final. And TSM are proving that their roster is more than some of their parts. I still thought Huni was a good top laner. He had a rough start. He's still proving it. Spica has been pretty good in the jungle. Power of Evil has, I wouldn't say, made up for the loss of Bjergsen, but he's certainly carved his own. He's certainly carved his name to TSM so far into his career. My biggest concern about the team was Lost. I think he had a Player of the Week performance. I voted for him to be the Player of the Week. Let me go check if that's there. But yeah, Lost has definitely has absolutely, shown up. Oh, come on! Power of Evil won it. Alright. Well, Tower of Evil was my second guess, but I'm not going to get the money for that. But yeah, I think Lost had a Player of the Week performance. He had a much better third game than Tower of Evil. But the two Deathless Syndra and Azir games were just too much. And I should have gone PoE. And I'm sorry. But yeah, and the Sword Art has pretty much done his job and done his job well. And TSM is one of the best teams in North America still. Do I think they're going to win? No. Yes, I put them in the projected finals as I took out Team Liquid and put in TSM because I, once again, do not trust Cloud9. And I think TSM's the best team besides 100 Thieves right now that showed me convincing things if Team Liquid continues their struggles. So I don't know how good TSM can be, but honestly, at this rate, it's looking like TSM could be a top 2 team. But we'll have to see. And I think that is all for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later.